Why would students want to do science research? The push right now in the country is STEM, doing science, technology, engineering, or mathematics. This research program, or just doing research in general, is giving you the foundation for moving into college, giving you a lot of the experiences that you are going to experience in college. You are going to experience whenever you get into some kind of STEM program where you're going to have to do some kind of independent research.
The science research course is really unique because the student is really in charge of what they're learning about. It is a little bit daunting perhaps to try and think of your own topic that you want to do some research in, but we try and give you some guidance about how to do that. But in the end, you design your own experiment, you are running the experiment, you're the one that's communicating the results of that experiment to other people and interpreting how it turned out.
This type of summer learning where a kid would, ask a question that they were interested in and then go out and do the things required to come up with a solution on their own, I think would be extremely valuable and very, very practical.
Even if a student may not be 100% for science, but and it doesn't necessarily have to be science, it's technology, engineering, and math. Engineering is such a huge program for anywhere, any job. If you have a degree and you're very successful in engineering, you can find a job pretty much anywhere. So I definitely think those kids that may not even like science will really enjoy it, because it's all about what they want to research.
It was a really small class, so we got to know our classmates. I liked that it was very student-run. We could make our own schedules and research as we wanted to do without any strict timetables given to us by the teachers. Yeah, I think it was the best summer school class I've taken, just because it's not really like a class format.
It's just a great opportunity to have. The nice thing about doing it in the summer is the chunk of time to run the experiments, to have kind of an open-ended research. It's not a 70-minute period. It allows the students to really focus on their research, because it is usually just the one class that they're doing. We have longer time every day, and then 4 days in a row. So, we've often seen students will work on something one day, go home, sleep on it, they've got the afternoon, they'll walk away, they'll do some other activity, and then they come in the next day and ready to go and refreshed and with, 2 or 3 new ideas on their project. Great opportunity.
We picked an experiment in the first 1.5 weeks, and we researched it and did a literature review, which is kind of where you find background research on your new project. And then after that, we design a procedure, do the experiment, and then get results and write about the results.
It doesn't always have to be within the umbrella of scientific research. We have behavioral sciences, so we've had students study behaviors associated with psychology, with music, with self-confidence. We've had students do, biomedical assessments with, how well things are absorbed or digested in systems. We've had students do physics and airplane modification designs. So at that point, the student can truly explore what is of interest to them and what that actually looks like as a true scientific research project.
Well, I picked psychology because I think that it's rather interesting to study how people perceive themselves and how the mind is altered by certain biases and heuristics.
In psychology is very wide open. You can find lots of information in regards to how students work in groups, how students perceive things, cognitive areas, for example, about emotion. Edgar did, for example, about facial recognition. Bjorn did about anchoring biases and how basically cues that we get from the environment actually affect our judgment. All these types of things that sort of tie into human behavior make actually very interesting, very fertile ground to be able to explore. And if you're really interested in an area, that gives you something to pursue later on also in college. So These actually provide really great opportunities for that.
Hey, I want to make a zombie shooter game. You know, how do I do that? And then all of a sudden, that just morphs into many smaller questions. I want to make a web application to allow students to connect with one another. What steps do I have to take to make that happen? So when you ask the question in that way, it naturally lends itself to very interesting learning experiences that school traditionally just can't reproduce.
It can be whatever you want as long as it's original and creative.
It's just really fun. Like that's the cool thing about this class. Like even if it's not gonna pertain to your like major, like you could like do anything that you really like. And like I really like computers in a sense, so I like that I could use Photoshop in our project while it was a psychology project, so I could like run around, like talk to people and get people to volunteer in my projects and stuff.
I think the more students we have involved, the better it is. Every year that we do this, the students are more successful. They go on to compete now at regionals and at state.
So at regionals, before regionals, we write a report and we rehearse it. And at regionals, we present the report to judges, and there's also special judges that'll come around and give you awards. Like you won 3 awards, and you won $100 for regionals. So there's money value.
No big
nothing else,
deal.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal, I promise, okay?
Yeah, so regionals, it's pretty fun. It's a lot of stress getting up there, but like qualifying for state was really rewarding, and it's awesome to see all of your hard work pay off and go to state, which yeah, we're at right now.
Oh, this was amazing. I was blown away by what I saw. I literally, it felt like an undergraduate symposium where I was walking around and I was actually looking at what I would see at the collegiate level, at least when I was in my undergrads. It was some of the presentations that I judged, I was just so taken back on the expertise that these individuals had, even at the middle school level.
We are expanding the program to further include more industry participation, some mentors, and it has generated a lot of additional interest, and of course it's very helpful for the students as well in terms of college applications.
We're finding more and more that students who have experiences to add to their applications and their resumes really have more to share, and they have more to write about in their essay. They have some real life experiences that they can draw on, and that does really give some substance to their applications.
I had a lot of college interviews, so it really helped just to talk about my research in my college interviews. Also because not only did I get to talk about the research for the college interviews, but talking about my research in the college interviews helped for presenting my research today, because I practiced it so many times with so many new different people.
A lot of times when you want to get to a college or go into a university, especially if you're interested in psych or the possibility of things in the psychology fields, to be able to have actually done research on this very specific experiment, to not only do the research but actually run an experiment and actually go through the analysis and things, is really a great opportunity. It's something that actually most undergrad psych students, once they get to college, don't even get that opportunity. So to be able to do this now is really an amazing opportunity to do so.
This program, like from what I saw judging today, is basically undergrad research. This puts you one step, if not 10 or 15 steps ahead of any other individual that goes into STEM programs that hasn't done the research. And that gets it, and you even possibly have a starting point and can possibly work on some of the flaws that individuals in their first year of college will have to work out. So you're literally 1 or 2 years ahead of them in the collegiate area when it comes to STEM research.
Experience of the summer research or the science research, specifically in high school, can get you that job at the college level. So for example, you're going in, you're competing with other students because you want to have that research opportunity, you want to work with a professor, you already have some things to put on an application to work with a professor that other kids might not have. So I do think it's helpful because you get the thing at college, and then you're building that college resume with all those experiences, and that's how you differentiate yourself when you graduate and you're looking for all those jobs after college.
Based on some feedback from some students who went through the program last year and are in college now, the students really agree that the science research program was a tremendous help for them in college.
It's really so worthwhile. I think everybody has walked away feeling so good about themselves, feeling that they've had a true accomplishment, a true something that they can point to, that they know they've done themselves, and that they've selected themselves, which is that level of student choice is really hot, far and above anything else that's offered at the high school level.
I enjoy the science research course.